You're listening to the Curio-city Collective podcast.
I'm Arpita.
And I'm Deepika. Over the last few months, I've been going to beaches in Mumbai suburbs to join cleanups that started in Versova Beach, and it was led by this man called Afroz Shah. And after the first visit, I sat down and wrote this in my notebook, which was my first impressions of the beach. An excavator's digging the tightly packed sand, its mouth burrowing hungrily as it goes back and forth, making its way up the beach. Lying exposed in its wake are pieces of cloth, milk packets, toothpaste tubes, and once glossy bottles now grotesquely misshapen. It's actually what got me thinking about waste and the overwhelming presence it has in our everyday lives.
Yeah, and I think all the stats point to that direction, right? I mean, this article I came across said that India is completely being buried under mounds and mounds of garbage. We generate something like 1.50 lakh metric tons of solid waste every single day. And your city, Mumbai, produces 7,500 metric tons on a daily basis.
You tell me these big numbers and I have to say they don't mean anything to me at all. It just feels too big.
It's confounding.
Yeah, and I think also that's what led us to this 4-part Trash Talk series and, beginning with this one. And it's a way to actually explore how people in cities are engaging with this issue of garbage and what they're doing and how all of us can be part of the solution. And I thought what better place to begin than my own backyard at Versova Beach in Mumbai.
And I think I have actually come across Afroz Shah. Didn't he get the UN Environment's Champions of the Earth Award in 2016?
Exactly.
And I think I chased that out of curiosity and I found all of these amazingly astounding before and after pictures of the Versova Beach. I mean, it showed that in the first place, it had garbage piled 5 feet high, stretching to about, 3 kilometers? And now they've gotten it to a place where you can actually see the beach. I mean, you can feel sand under your feet.
Absolutely. And they cleared something like 20 million kgs of trash. And, and then after that, in 2017, Afroz Shah got the Indian of the Year award for public service and a whole bunch of others thereafter. And so the first time I was there, I actually got a chance to talk to a group of 16-year-old volunteers who come out to the beach for cleanups.
You find all sorts of things here. From like
a lot of alcohol bottles here.
Yeah. You find alcohol bottles, you find a lot of wrappers, you find detergent.
Milk packets, many of them.
This is not only a place where it affects humans, it affects animals too. And it affects our nature and you see when you're because of all the garbage here, you see how fishes come out dead on the shore. We've seen fish skeletons here too. Dead fishes coming up and pick it up and throw it them away. So that's sad. So you see a lot of consequences happening here. That's when beaches are important and beaches are aesthetic. You would want them to keep it clean and it's beautiful in nature. So you don't like seeing them though, did you?
I mean, no one wants to see them dirty. And I love that they're choosing to get out and get their hands dirty, literally.
Yeah, both girls, Shailini and Roopsha, spend a part of their weekend sorting out garbage on the beach. And they'd first heard about Afroz Shah when he went to their school to talk about the human-ocean conflict and the consequences it has for marine life. And what got Afroz out to the beach actually was exactly that he wanted to look at this problem of human-ocean conflict. And, that's when I first met him when he was on his hands and knees sifting through waste.
My name is Afroz Shah. I'm a lawyer by profession, but an ocean lover by choice. See, every plastic which you pick up here, if not picked up at the beach, it will do two things. It will become a food of a marine species. A fish will eat it, a fish will swallow it, a bird will ingest it. Look at this styrofoam. This is a potential food for a marine species. So people have got it wrong. Beach cleaning is not about clean beaches. Sorry. Clean beach may be a consequence. Maybe it will never become clean. But what we are doing is we are not allowing these to go into the deep sea and trouble the marine species. One. Second, if too much plastic lands in the belly of the ocean, the naturally existing ecosystem is bound to get disturbed. There are microorganisms there who will swallow it. See, the salt water can eat the organic waste. The salt water can't swallow the plastic. So that's a worrying factor, and hence I feel nicer that this plastic will make sure, this pickup will make sure that those many marine species will have a healthier life. My Versova Beach, if you're showing the video, oh my God, I never thought that beach will be clean. 3.5 kilometers of this much garbage. And every time we'd clean, one tide would come and place it. Every week we clean tide. And we used to, my volunteers after 1.5 years, they said, Afroz, will this beach ever be cleaned? So I used to tell them this beach cleaning is not about clean beaches. It's about the marine species whom you're protecting, for God's sake.
This approach of taking it one step at a time is something that another of Afroz's volunteers was telling me about. So Akhilesh joined the group in 2016 and described what he saw the first time he went to the beach.
So my name is Akhilesh Bhargav. I have been a part of Afroz's team for the past 3.5 years now. So I once met, Afroz, and someone said that, he's trying to handle a very big problem on Versova Beach. I had never been to the beach at Versova. And I met him in office and I told him that let's approach the chief minister and I think, we need to sort his help. So Afroz just said that, Akhilesh, why don't you come on the beach once? And it was a Friday, I remember. And on Saturday morning, I went to the beach. It was raining heavily. You couldn't see anything. And I walked on the beach and I was just walking on plastic and I could not believe what was happening. And there I see a bunch of 50, 60 people working in crazy amount of rain, just trying to pick up plastic. And I think that was the day which kind of changed my life. And I said, oh my God, this is something which I actually thought that this could not be solved in a lifetime. If you would have seen Versova Beach at that point of time, that's what you would have thought. And here we are.
So interestingly, Akhilesh is also part of the All India Plastics Manufacturers Association. And he was talking about how his perception of plastic and its use changed after that first visit to the beach.
I bet, because I think Mumbai has some of the worst polluted beaches in the world. So this research I came across by Litterbase, a German research organization which studies ocean health and particularly the presence of plastic debris on 4 beaches in Mumbai. They did the study and found that an average of almost 69 items could be found per square kilometer.
I can believe that. And, and it's the microplastics in particular that are so harmful. I mean, you're talking about like thousands of sachets of shampoo and fabric softener and gutka and just the really small size packaging, which then breaks down into these smaller fragments. And then the larger plastics, of course, like instant noodles and chips packets, they're, strewn as far as the eye can see.
And all this awful plastic ends up in the bellies of sea creatures. I mean, we've all seen those really awful pictures of birds and turtles where, you split up their tummies and you see that they're full of plastic and they've choked on it. They've died of starvation because of it. And the study I just mentioned also said this, that Litterbase found that a total number of species affected by plastics is 1,220. And of course, it's going up.
Yeah, but Afroz actually grown up in a Mumbai that had a very different beach. And, so a part of what also brought him back there was to see if he could go back to that beach of his childhood.
My early teen years, my early childhood was near a lake called Powai Lake. So I've been to that lake. My father used to take me there. Very interesting. Every weekend he used to fish. So, when you put in India, we fish through angling, you have a rod and you put an angler. Then after that, in my teen years, I was here. Okay, at Versova. So I used to come to that beach. Then after that, when I became a lawyer, I shifted to Bandra. I stayed in Bandra for 7-8 years. Then suddenly when I came back, this beach had become garbage dump. I still remember the first day when I came to look and I saw, oh my God, what's happening? And then your lawyer instinct would have naturally told you, go to the court because the government seems to be not delivering the BMC. We have in law a term called mandamus. It's called continuing mandamus. You file a PIL at Bombay High Court and tell the judge the government is not working. So please issue a mandamus. A mandamus means to direct. So that's my natural lawyer instinct. But my human instinct told me that's not right. That's not the correct approach. And that's when I used my 2 hands. I said, come on, let's go. I started with an 84-year-old man who was suffering from cancer. I didn't know. He was the secretary of my building. His name was Harbansh Mathur. Yeah. Me and him went for the first time on the beach, all alone in October 2015. And I remember still, we both of us picked up 5 bags. We were so happy. Lots of changes in people. See, the change has to be not at a systemic level, if you ask me. Because that systemic level you do, whether under a law or a cooperative society, whatever. Change has to be individually. So if I'm able to change 2 people, I've done my job. You are not Mother Teresa. I'm under no hallucination that I'll become a Mother Teresa or somebody will have to become a Mother Teresa. No. It's a matter of fact. Just go and do it. So my beach cleanups are also a matter of fact. We go, do it, come back, go, do it, come back, go, do it, come back. People call us insane saying, for 4 years you've been cleaning. I said, that's it. There's nothing wrong with it. 4 years we ate food. 4 years we generated garbage. 4 years I created carbon imprint. So what's so great if 4 years I picked up the plastic? There's nothing great about it. In fact, all of us should be doing it. Yeah, so beach cleanup is about leading by examples,
Afroz set the bar starting the cleanups with his neighbor, but he also began to mobilize all sorts of different people to join him. I mean, in the 7 beach cleanups I've gone for so far, I met people of every age group, every shape and form who just come out to do this work together. And in fact, one of them is the 74-year-old woman called Primla Hingorani. And she calls herself Auntie 72 actually, because that's when she opened her Facebook account. And it's lovely to see her out there every week picking up garbage, and it's inspiring to be around her.
I bet she sounds inspiring. And I can't imagine something like this even being possible without involving a whole host of people. It must have been a massive effort.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I've seen videos where everyone from Amitabh Bachchan to the UN rapporteur have joined him on the beach. And in fact, at my first cleanup, Diya Mirza and contestants from Miss India were there for the beach cleanup. And Afroz was actually describing how he used to do this mobilization, just going at it one house at a time.
I used to go house to house. Initially, my cleanup used to be only on Sunday for first 3 months. Then after 3-4 months, we did Saturday, Sunday. So what we did was we used to step out, and I used to come back from the cleanup, eat my lunch, if it's a morning cleanup, and go house to house. Gandhian philosophy, don't get it right, wearing like a 2 loincloth down and up, that's not Gandhian philosophy. The Gandhian philosophy was this. Gandhian philosophy was to take, if you saw a problem, you take everybody on board and show up. When Gandhiji launched the Quit India movement, or when he fought for the independence, everybody was with him. The Birlas and the Tatas, that time people said, oh, India is a very poor country. How did you get these Birlas on board? But they were, because after all, you are a citizen and you are generating garbage. So what you would do? You know what I mean? You'll have to own up. It's a Gandhian way. It's love, no? If I smile to you, you'll smile back. I mean, how difficult it is. I mean, human beings have a very beautiful emotion called love. And in this day and age, we don't use it quite often. We are selfish with love. I think once you become selfless with love, and that's what this moment was all about. I connected to people on Smile, I connected to people on food. If you come to my house on a Saturday, Sunday, there are hundreds of them. Now when I was walking out, there were at least 25 volunteers there. So some were cooking, some had their lunches, some were having conversation. I think as human race, we have forgotten all that, hence that aloofness. And from that aloofness arises the loss of sense of belonging, and from that loss of sense of belonging arises the waste. That's link. The more we are connected to others, the more okay we are with other species.
I really like how Afroz speaks of this form of action as a reflection of love. And I think so many of us feel this deep sense of concern, even anxiety around these issues. But we don't necessarily see its connection to action. And I sometimes end up wondering if, that leads to us just accumulating anxieties because it's not heading anywhere. And I remember from our conversation, you'd been to the beach cleanup the first time and you said that it calmed you down like in a way that you hadn't been for a long time.
Yeah, I think there's something about shared action and doing which is transformative, and even if you're faced with these huge challenges. And for me, there was something about working with so many people I didn't know, but also knowing that there would be people there week after week. It felt really reassuring, and in many ways, it also made me feel less lonely.
Yeah, I mean, that is the special thing about getting a community together. But any community action is such a massive commitment for the person who's going about doing it. So how does he organize this?
Oh, there's cleanups every weekend on Saturday and Sunday, plus 2 or 3 midweek engagements, with different stakeholders like shopkeepers in and around Versova. And he has a team that he works with to help him do this. But also what I found really interesting was that it extends beyond the beach. I mean, he has a fully open house policy and, there's volunteers going into his house afterwards for breakfast and chai, and, there's conversations around plans for the next week. And it's just a space that he's been successful in bringing lots of different sorts of people together. And I think, and it was actually there that I met another of Afroz's volunteers, one of the core group members, Faizan. And he's 25, but has this air of deep thoughtfulness about him. And, after working with Afroz, he's actually chosen to make this a full-time commitment. And he was describing his early experience.
I felt really good about it, that I was not the only one. First of all, I was proud of myself to actually go there, because that's, I think, the first step, and that's the most difficult step, because you don't know what you're going to do, you don't know anybody there. And that's what I feel that most people back at home who would even read about this, see it in social media, that is what they would, that is what stops them, what holds them back, to go over there, because they have no idea what really happens. They just see pictures, they don't know what to do. But I realized over there that they guide you, you seem lost. I was lost. I was like all over the place. Until I came home, I didn't realize how peaceful it felt, that I was watching this movement for a long time, but finally when I went ahead and joined it and I did it, and that feeling was, to be honest, over there it felt very normal, because they were so open about it and they wanted to talk to everybody and get everybody involved. So I felt like, it's nothing new. But when I went back home and I thought about it, it gave me a sense of pride in myself, that, it's a small thing that I did, but I contributed to a cause in my country. Just picking up garbage will not clean everything. It's the awareness that brings. I mean, how many ever friends I've brought to the cleanup with me, it must be a very few number, 3, 4 maybe maximum. But the feedback that I've gotten from them is that just by attending 1 or 2 such cleanups, they have stopped, throwing away the garbage. They ask where my garbage is going. That's the kind of conversation that we need to have. And this is what the cleanup brings. This is what it starts. It brings up conversations, it brings up awareness among people who don't know about it. I never used to do it for 25 years of my life. I was never bothered about where my wet waste and dry waste is going. And as long as it's out of the house, as long as it's not in my backyard, then I don't really care about it. That's not the attitude that we need to have as a community, as a city, if we want to see our city clean. And that's, I think, the crux of the whole cleanup movement. Not just by physically going and cleaning it, it's an attitude change, it's a mindset change. And that is the most difficult part.
I suspect there is something really powerful to persistent and consistent action, which isn't there in doing something, one-off. I mean, I remember from my experience of being in Mumbai, where post Visarjan, it was so filthy. The beaches were again, like probably the before of Versova, and all these kids from colleges and schools were sort of marched up in their uniforms to clean it. And I mean, that was just this one-off thing where you did it as an obligation. You didn't really think about it. Making the choice of coming there day after day, I think that's powerful. But I wanted to ask, what about those people in Mumbai who actually live by the sea? Aren't there a lot of bastis in that area? Are they also involved?
Yeah, actually, that's how Afroz began engaging with the communities around Versova, because, and for me, it's one of the things that really stands out about his initiative. And he said, he'd see people coming out to the beach to use it as a toilet, and he'd tell them not to. And they'd get really angry and say, oh, but, where do we go? We don't have any other space to go. So then he decided to visit the community toilet block, and he said what he saw was just shocking, and then he started then cleaning that toilet block, which
that's intense.
Yeah, because it is something to say that that's how much you're committed to what you're doing. And and I was talking to one of his volunteers, John T, who's actually grown up in that Sagar Kutir Basti on Versova Beach, and he now has a young child of his own and is sort of the hero also of his community, because he's been really successful in mobilizing 72 young men to join this cleanup.
हम लोग बहुत पहले से 3-4 साल हो गया जुड़े हैं सर के साथ से, और जैसे कि पहले हम लोगों को कोई आइडिया नहीं था इस चीज़ का, क्योंकि हम लोग भी पहले खुद स्लम में रहते थे, तो गंदगी करते थे और कचरा इधर फेंकते थे उधर फेंकते थे. एक्चुअली पता नहीं था क्या है सेग्रीगेशन, क्या करना है, रिसाइकल क्या है, प्लास्टिक से क्या हार्मफुल होता है, मरीन स्पीशीज़ को क्या होता है. बस घर पे लाए, बाहर फेंक दिए. तो एक इंसान ऐसा आया सडनली हमारे एरिया में, हमारा बाथरूम टॉयलेट सब साफ़ करने लग गए। तो पहले हमको जैसे कि हमको पहले लगा कोई पार्टी का आदमी है, इलेक्शन में खड़े होने वाला है, तो वोट मिलेगा तो भाग जाएगा, क्योंकि स्लम में मोस्टली ऐसे होते हैं, बॉम्बे में यही सब होता है। कोई ग्राउंड वर्क करने के लिए तैयार नहीं, सब बोलते हैं, कोई ग्राउंड वर्क नहीं करता है। जैसे कि अभी सर कर रहे ग्राउंड वर्क, हाथ से कर रहे, खुद आके खड़े हैं। लीडर का होना ज़रूरी है। अगर लीडर नहीं रहेगा, लीडर खाली बात करेगा, तो उसके पीछे जो वॉलंटियर्स है वो लोग थोड़े दिन ही करेंगे। हम लोग का ये 4 साल से हम लोग छोड़े नहीं, क्यों? क्योंकि लीडर ही हमारे साथ काम कर रहा है, लीडर खुद ग्राउंड वर्क कर रहा है। तो लीडर हम लोग को बोलता था जाओ वो उठा, ये उठा, वो कर, तो हम लोग बोलते यार ये तो खाली हम लोग को बोलता है, ये खाली हम लोग को बोलता है, ये कुछ करता नहीं है। तो लीडर ही साथ में काम करता है, तो सबसे बड़ा मोटिवेशन है हमारे लिए, क्योंकि इतना बड़ा आदमी हमारे साथ काम कर रहा है और हमारे चीज़ें उठा रहा है, हमारे जहाँ हम रह रहे बचपन से वो जगह आके साफ़ कर रहा है, जहाँ हम लोग टॉयलेट जाते वो टॉयलेट आके साफ़ कर रहा है। मैं और मेरे एक फ्रेंड गणेश, हम लोग बैठ के डिस्कस किए, बोला इतना बड़ा आदमी मर्सिडीज़ में आता था साफ़ करने, तो बोला इतना बड़ा आदमी हम लोग का एक छोटा सा स्लम साफ़ करने आता, बोला ये शर्म की बात है, बोला ये हमको ऐसा स्टार्ट करना चाहिए कुछ ना कुछ। फिर 2 जन, 2 से 4, अभी हम लोग 72 लड़के लोग। हंसी मजाक मतलब हम लोग को बहुत जन ने, जैसे मोस्टली स्लम में सब दोस्त लोग यार लोग रहते हैं, तो बोला अभी कचरा वाला बन गया कचरा उठा रहा है, तो हम लोग भी हंस के टाल दिए, बोला हाँ चल कचरा। मगर इतना जिन्होंने बोला हम लोग को, जिन्होंने चिढ़ाया हम लोग को, जिन्होंने ये किया, वो चिढ़ाया मतलब वो मजाक मस्ती हो गई, ऐसा कुछ नहीं। मगर वो लोग चिढ़ाए, वो हम लोग को थोड़ा देर तो फील हुआ कि यार कभी बैठे हम लोग 4-5 जन यार लोग चिढ़ा रहे हैं देख, तो उसमें से कैसा 5 जन बैठे, एक जन बोला रहे वो चिढ़ा रहे क्यों कर रहे हैं अपन फुकट में, तो हम बोला नहीं, जो अपने को चिढ़ाएगी वो एक दिन हमारे साथ आके काम करेगी। हम लोग ने, मैंने और मेरे फ्रेंड ने सोचा कि अपन स्पोर्ट्स चालू कर दें, जहाँ बच्चे लोग को बच्चे यानी 15 से लेके 20-25 के एज में जिसको जो इंटरेस्ट है स्पोर्ट्स, वो हम लोग टूर्नामेंट रखें। और ऐसा रखे, हम लोग ने बोला ये टीम को एंट्री है, वो लोग आगे क्लीन अप करें, तो वो टीम को एंट्री, वो टीम को हम लोग जो भी कैश प्राइज जमा के हम लोग दे देते। तो ऐसा हम लोग ने ये चालू किया, हम लोग के सर ने बताया ऐसा करो, ऐसा करोगे तो स्पोर्ट्स एक्टिविटीज़ भी ज़रूरी है। तो वो बोला स्पोर्ट्स एक्टिविटीज़ चालू करेंगे तो ऐसा चीज़ बताएंगे तो लोग को थोड़ा ये लगेगा कि हाँ हम लोग स्पोर्ट्स भी खेल रहे और एनवायरनमेंट भी साफ रखे। तो वैसा कर करके बहुत तकलीफ हुआ, मगर लास्ट में जुड़ गया, अभी बहुत जन जुड़ गए, जैसा आपको मैं बताया 72 जन एक जैसे।
So there are 5,000 homes in Sagar Kutir Basti in Versova, and ensuring that waste segregation takes place in each household is what has kept Jonty really motivated.
And that is quite an astounding second level impact. I'm loving the different types of people that are getting involved in this.
Yeah, and Afroz was saying, he wasn't even on social media in the beginning, but now he's using that as a platform to engage with more and more people. And I don't think it actually would have been possible to do what he has without the sheer numbers of volunteers that that show up, and literally like 20 million kgs of garbage removed. It's incredible. And week after week I've seen an average of at least 40 at any given cleanup, and when he plans bigger events then that figure touches 5,000.
These are volunteers.
All volunteers, yes. And one of the volunteers I met there actually is a school-going boy, Arush, who's 15, and he joined about 3 months ago, and he's already a regular face there.
I started 3 months ago. We used to fill up 1 or 2 trucks at the Meethi River. But as more people get aware about it, we're filling up 5 to 6 trucks. And it's amazing to see that we as humans, such few people, can clean up hundreds of tons of plastic. So even if one person, like I clean up 5 or 6 buckets. So even if one person comes, we can clean up more 5 or 6 buckets. And that is how we should see it, because you see so many people, you tell them, I'm going to clean the beach, I'm going to clean the ocean. They'll say the plastic will keep flowing in. It'll never stop. But the way to see it is that we are making a significant impact, because even if I pick up one plastic wrapper, it might not land up in the stomach of a turtle or a fish. So that is what is important to realize, and everyone needs to come out 1 day or 2 days, just take out from whatever free time, rather than going to watch a movie or playing on your PS4 or Xbox. Rather come out and help your environment.
Arush's excitement is really warming, and I think it does seem rather thrilling that so many children are also interested, engaged, and joining this space of doing. And I think, like we said, the doing leads to that space of introspection.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's also such a special part of the cleanups. And, the other exciting thing actually about it is that in March 2018, some 20 olive ridley turtles were actually spotted on Versova Beach after a really long time. And the ocean is so inseparable from the idea of Mumbai. I mean, in a city that's constantly moving, the beach is that space where everyone comes, to pause and rest and to find solace. And I mean, even when you're participating in a cleanup, you feel that sensation. And there's just a quietening that comes with working with your hands and legs and just being connected to the rhythm of the ocean. And even as you're doing that, I mean, Afroz calls it a duty or responsibility to the ocean. But even in that journey, the ocean's always giving back. If you found this episode interesting, do share it with your communities. To join cleanups in your city, visit our website www.thecuriositycollective.org for a list of people and groups who are leading efforts to reconnect with our natural world in Mumbai and in other cities. In our next episode, we'll travel to Bangalore to meet the founder of Daily Dump, Poonam Bir Kasturi, who's working to change the way we engage with waste and to point to solutions that we can start with today. This episode has been made with the support of Srinidhi Raghavan and produced by the Bangalore Recording Company.